Welcome to the Brojob podcast, where we talk about everything that makes your dad bust a fat fucking nut. And before we get into this, I want to just plug something real quick. I want to plug our Patreon.
He's going to plug me.
It's only $5 a month. All right, $5 a month. That's about how much KY costs. So if you want to just go in dry this month for the homies, we would really appreciate it. And this week we're going to talk about horror games and horror adjacent games and wherever the fuck else this goes. So Eric, if you want to take it away from there.
I guess I'll just start with the games that started me on liking horror games.
That's good.
Which
I like
was
this.
Resident Evil, particularly Resident Evil 3. I think
is that Nemesis?
Yeah.
Dude.
So I've always loved Nemesis.
He's a scary
as
motherfucker,
like a main
too.
bad guy. He was, yeah.
He
And
just
they
walks
remade
at
that
you and he
game,
doesn't
too.
stop walking towards you, and you're just like,
yeah, that like it was the first time that there was something in a game where I was like, no matter what door I go through, no matter where I go, I can't fucking escape. Like, this thing will chase me. Like, he'll come through the windows and shit. Nah, man. I was so scared too because I was young.
A lot of
you know?
new games are kind of modeled that way now. Like, you'll get chased by shit, and that's what's so fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, anytime you're being chased by anything in any game, like, it's always like, fuck. You know what I mean?
Being chased is a lot scarier than something just popping out at you.
Mm-hmm.
But I loved all the Resident Evil games though. After once I got into it, like that, I liked all that lore and everything. I don't know if any of you guys are into the lore of the games.
Raccoon City, dude.
Nice, yeah, man. All the Umbrella stuff and
Umbrella is probably one of the most evil video game companies. One of them, at least.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I guess that was like a common thing in the 90s was like the evil corporations being the bad guys and stuff.
Yeah.
Shinra, dude, from fucking Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah. But Umbrella was definitely like a fucking cool one. It was just like, damn, dude. Like, they got everybody fooled, but they're making these zombies and everything, and then they just nuke a whole city, and they're like, oh, whatever, we'll just sweep it under the rug.
We'll handle this later.
This doesn't sound like this could happen in real life, I'm sure.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. That's the thing, man. Fucking A, capitalism.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Walmart's going to be the death of us all.
Let's talk about capitalism.
I'm actually stoked to hear from Connor. Like, what do you got, bud?
Well, yeah, I really haven't played a lot. I think one of the earlier ones that I played was on Dreamcast, which was Resident Evil 2, which was pretty sick.
The police station.
Yeah. But I really like Half-Life 2. I don't know if that's like a horror game or what.
I would say it has horror elements for sure. Like the fucking crab things or whatever that like
The head crabs.
head crab
people.
Those things are fucked, dude.
crab people.
That's like
people.
I kind of feel that way about like the first Halo, like Halo Combat Evolved, like the first one.
The
It was
flood,
like-
dude.
Yeah, when you first discover the flood, it's like scary as shit.
Yeah, dude.
At least I thought it was. I don't know.
No, dude, because they like took over people. They took over the aliens too. The Covenant were even like fucked up.
Yeah.
Those like bug alien things or whatever.
Yeah, they like the ones that would run up to you and explode, and then the little guys would
dude.
run around.
Oh, dude.
Once that happened, I was like, oh my god.
That was also such a cool game because then you had like this 3-way battle going on after a minute, and that was pretty awesome. You'd like come in on the flood fighting the Covenant, and then you could just like let them fight for a while if you wanted to, or just like snipe them or get in there, and that was so cool. That was like I had never seen anything like that before that game.
I think that's the only Halo that I played all the way through. Was the first one.
Yeah.
Oh man, you're missing out, dude. Halo 2 is
I tried to play
incredible.
the second one, and I was just like dying over and over. And I was like, well,
This game sucked.
This game's bullshit, dude. What I loved what they did with the flood also is like they didn't just like start them off as like completely crazy. They started off kind of slow. Like they're just like running towards you, and then you'll have like the bloating ones that like explode. But then they start giving them guns later on in the game, and they're just like they don't know what they're doing, so they're like shooting all over the place. Like half the bullets will hit you, and then like there's one that always has a rocket launcher, and it pisses me off because that's the only one who can aim. Like,
Of course, yeah.
dude,
It's the only one that's not looking at the
Every now
sky
and
when
then
he's
you'll just
firing.
get every now and then one of them has a shotgun. Some flood has a shotgun, and they just get close to you and happen to fucking just, something like that.
yeah.
The game was wacky. I think
What about you, Trevi?
Let's hear Trevi.
I love horror games. I love a lot of them. But
Yeah.
I think the first one that I really loved was Darkness Falls on the GameCube.
Dude, I remember seeing that game like somewhere. I never played it, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
It had like this weird hallucination mechanic where when you got your little hallucination bar filled up, weird shit would happen. Like a bunch of enemies would appear that aren't actually there. So you like waste all your resources trying to fight them. There was one where like it turned down my TV and the animation was like the same volume animation on my TV. So me and my dad are looking around like, who's sitting on the remote? And then it just went back up. And like the little meter disappeared. I was like, God damn, that was weird.
That's
Dude,
crazy.
that's actually brilliant, man.
It was neat.
Fuck yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, I think like the best horror games are like they're not just scary, but they have some sort of like the survival element has to be there, right? Like resource management. Which
Man.
Fucking
Yeah, Resident Evil's the worst about that.
When you've only got like a flashlight and you're like, fuck.
Oh yeah,
fucking Outlast, dude.
Outlast. Yeah, that was where they
Dude,
were like, okay, no
having
more
to
weapons,
look for
just
batteries. Dude, I would look everywhere
Outlast
for
is
batteries
fucked.
anytime I could find.
run. So scary, dude.
That element alone, that makes it so scary. Is the fucking batteries running out? Because if you
Yeah.
run out of batteries,
It's
you're
just dark.
fucked. You can't do anything. You can't really
Yeah.
progress because you can't see anything. Like
Right.
unless you have the map memorized, then you can like kind of just like feel
Yeah.
your way around or whatever. But dude, that game was so revolutionary to me. I think, in fact, we all got together several nights and would play that at your house, Eric. You know what I mean?
we played it somewhere. I think it was at my place.
Mhm.
We played it a couple times in a row on PlayStation.
With PT,
Yeah.
we used to play PT all the time
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Yep.
That's a game I like.
Personal training?
Yeah. The Silent Hills trailer is still the scariest game of all time, in my opinion. I don't think anything tops it. I don't think everything that they've tried to copy with that game has like not failed, but they just haven't been able to recreate like that feeling.
Well, it's
from
because
that
it was
game.
the
Like,
first. You know, like it was the first game that had that. So all the like
I've never
PT
played
clones
a
and
Silent
everything. I played the one that everyone hated. Which one is it? It's the one where you're like an escaped convict. What is it? Downpour?
Silent Hill 2 on Xbox.
Oh, Silent Hill 2.
I don't think I played any of the other games. Like you said, Downpour, I think is one of, like they also have like did they have like a high school one or something? Like what the fuck was it called? It was like, I don't know. They had like there's some weird spin-off Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Like, it always bothered me that you never had like weapons or anything. It was like purely story based. Like
Silent
I
Hill?
played one of the Resident Evils recently, 7, I think. And it's mostly like story, but you still have to like shoot stuff.
I did Village a couple weeks ago, and that was fucking awesome.
Dude, Village is
Hold on.
fucking nuts. With the Dommy mommy.
Oh yeah, dude, she's huge.
She's
Yeah.
like 11 foot tall. And then, dude,
Perfect.
there's the one fucking area with that baby that's like chasing you like down the hallway.
Yeah, that was the scariest like area of the entire thing.
I
Dude,
don't
you
think
can
I've
play
gotten to
that.
that part.
You can play it in VR too, which is fucking nuts. Dude, they have Resident Evil 4, the new one remake on PC.
Yeah, in VR.
Is in,
You
in
can play it in
VR
VR.
also.
I want to play Res 4 in VR.
That
That
is
game
like,
was actually pretty scary when it came out
Gotta
too.
get the hell out of here and go fucking work like a bitch.
all right, Trevi.
Good
I love
night,
you,
I'll
buddy.
be back
Webby
if the
Webby.
meeting doesn't last though.
Love you, dude.
Everyone say goodbye to Trevor. Everyone at home, put in the comments.
Goodbye
Goodbye,
forever.
Trevor.
Goodbye,
Bye, buddy.
Trevor.
We love you,
Love
Trevor.
you.
Love you guys.
Trevi
I'll talk to you
Webby.
later.
Thank God.
And then there
Now
were
that he's
four.
gone.
Yeah,
Damn,
Dumbass.
that piece of shit left.
All right, now what can we actually talk about now?
Yeah, let's talk about the socio-political economic climate. Now that idiot's gone.
God damn it. Back to Silent Hill. That's what I
Yeah,
said.
dude.
The first
Dude.
one like gave me nightmares as a kid, like hard. Like that was one of those games that like after I played it, my parents were like, "Man, we fucking shouldn't have let that kid play this fucking game." And like I'm like sleeping on the floor. I'm sleeping on the floor in their room.
I didn't play Silent Hill 1 when I was a kid. The one game I was introduced to as a kid was Resident Evil 1. I watched my brother play like that game from the beginning, and I got to the part where like you find the first like zombie like eating that person, and he like slowly turns to the camera and looks at it or whatever.
It's
that I noped out of there. After that, I was like, dude, fuck you for letting me be in here. Like that scared
funny.
the shit out of me, dude. I was like, why are you guys even playing this? So that was the first time I was introduced to horror games. I was like, nope, I never want to play a scary game ever again. And now like it's my favorite.
Yeah, it's
like my favorite genre.
Yeah,
fuck yeah.
Definitely good games.
I'd say Silent Hill 2 is definitely the best one, though, in my opinion.
I don't know. I haven't really played them all. I've played 1, 2, and 3, but I think I've only finished the third game. But I mean, they're really good.
There are quite a few people that like the spin-off games, but I never cared enough to check them out. In fact, if anybody's watching this and has a recommendation of one of the spin-off games, like I know Paxi just mentioned one not too long ago, like I'd be willing to give it a shot.
What, Downpour, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had never played a Silent Hill game and haven't played one since Downpour. The reason I got it, I was at the beach with my family, and there was like this used game shop, and I got a copy of Prototype 2 and a copy of Silent Hill Downpour for the 360 for like $5.
Nice.
Like both of them for $5, which was fucking badass. I love Prototype 2. To this day, that's like one of my favorite games ever. It's not horror, but I just love that game. It's so over the top and dumb. But Silent Hill, I played a little bit of it, and then I was like, this is boring. I'm going to keep playing Prototype. And then I just never went back to it. And then I looked up reviews for it, and everyone was like, this is the worst Silent Hill game ever. This ruined the series for me. And I was like, all right, so I guess I just dodged a bullet by not playing that. I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking, I couldn't remember for sure because I've heard the name, and that definitely, it sounded familiar, like it might be a little bit infamous. Yeah. But I know,
it's like you're a convict, and like you kill someone in the shower, I think, and then you get like prison transfer, and then the bus crashes in Silent Hill Townville place thing, and there are this fucking mailbox. I think I've not touched that game in years, but it's like I think it's like a mail drop off place has been like ripped out of the ground and like dragged around, and you're like, what could have done this? And then you walk across the street, and some dude's like, be careful, and then you go into a window, and everything goes to shit. And I was like, dude, Prototype has zombies in it. I'm going to play Prototype.
See, I loved that about the Silent Hill thing, like just from day one, like the first game was that whole just, you think you're in a normal place, and yeah, it's a little creepy, but then all of a sudden it's that shift, and it's like the hell version of reality. Yeah. Like you watch the fucking paint peel from the walls. That's like nightmare fuel so hard. Like that shit scared me, man. Like all those games were like, I think Silent Hill probably was, up until I played Resident Evil 7 in VR, Silent Hill was the scariest thing I'd ever. I had to like force myself to play it. Maybe Outlast was kind of like that the first time through it as well, but like for sure with Silent Hill. But I mentioned Resident Evil 7 in VR because you mentioned that earlier. But dude, that shit was insane. Because like I played it by myself in my living room. I can't see what's around me. It's fucking dark in the house. Yeah, I don't know. And it was creepy as fuck. And then you find yourself aiming like up, towards your fucking ceiling to shoot the molded in the fucking head, and it was just crazy.
Do you guys remember a game called Indigo Prophecy? It was also it went by the name Fahrenheit. Also, it's the same company that made Heavy Rain. Do you know of Heavy Rain?
Yeah,
yeah.
No. So Fahrenheit's pretty crazy. Or Indigo Prophecy is how I know it. You literally the game starts with you like in this like diner, and like you go to the bathroom, and then you like become like possessed, and you murder someone with a knife. And then you snap out of this possession, and you're like, holy shit, did I do this? Did I kill this person? And then you have to like figure out like what the fuck to do next. Like, do I climb out of the window? Do I walk out of the bathroom? Like, you have to make so many decisions in that game. Like, it's just fucking wild. I remember that game being mind blowing. You know, and that the thing you were talking about with Silent Hill with the prisoner, like you kill some dude or whatever. I don't know why that reminded me of that.
It's like you're in prison already, and then there's this one dude. I don't remember the exact story, but it's like this one dude, they have a problem with him. So the guards are like, hey, this guy needs to go. We'll look the other way. Take care of it. And you're in there, and I think you can like stab him or like beat him to death or some shit.
Jesus.
Like there's options, I'm pretty sure. And I remember just like running around fumbling with the controls because I don't know if this is like a mainstay of the Silent Hill thing because, again, it's the only one I've ever played. But the controls in that game are fucking jank, dude. They're so bad. What's up?
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was like pivoting around with like some like a shiv or some shit. And I was like missing every fucking swing I took. Eventually killed him and then went to Hell World. It was bad.
What's that one game by Rockstar where you can like you basically murder people and it's like
Manhunt.
a snuff?
Oh yeah, Manhunt. Yeah,
I love Manhunt.
That game was fucking nuts.
How am I gonna murder this guy?
Do you remember that, Connor? Do you remember that game?
I think I only played it at your house because I didn't have it.
I didn't like playing it. It felt wrong to play that game,
bad,
dude.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, how do I want to kill this person with this plastic bag?
Yeah.
Do I want to like put it over their head and then start kicking them in the face? Like, it's like the most brutal game ever made, in my opinion. Like, I don't think there's any other game that tops. It's like literally a game of murder.
I'm sure there's something.
I remember a game that I liked a lot was Max Payne.
Oh, dude, Max Payne.
So
Max
good,
Payne is fucking... The voice actor literally just passed away, like today.
Oh, shit, man. Damn. That's crazy.
Yeah, he voiced, I think, Alan Wake. I don't know if you guys remember. That's another horror game that was really good.
Yeah,
Alan Wake was wonderful.
That you liked that game. I played it at your place, I think.
Mm-hmm. Where you have like a flashlight as one of your weapons, like to stun the Shadow Men or whatever. And then apparently Alan Wake 2 is like one of the best games like of all time now. Like it's like they just came out and it like got like crazy reviews. Like I keep seeing people talk about how the graphics are like so next level, like probably the best graphics out there right now. I need to like add that to my collection and play that for sure.
Well, anyways, I was thinking of another game that I thought of earlier when Pax was talking about, and similar to what you were saying, just where your character kind of loses control or gets controlled by something else and murders somebody, and then you have to like kind of deal with the aftermath. Mm-hmm. It's kind of it reminded me a bit of this game called Galarians. I don't know if you guys have heard of it because it's definitely an underground one.
I haven't.
But maybe somebody listening will know it.
What platform is it?
It was a PlayStation game. It was PlayStation,
like original PlayStation.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
But it was like your character like is like in a sticky situation, can't remember anything, doesn't really know what's happening, and then the security guard is about to rough him up, and you get this you get these drugs basically that you inject, and they give you some kind of like psionic effect, and the first one you use, I think, to solve a puzzle. It's not like a murderous, and then you get a red one, and you don't know what you're going to have to do with it. And then you come face to face with this guard, and he's got like a weapon, and you're trapped in a hallway with him, and it's like he's going to kill you. So why not try the red drug or whatever? And you do it, and your character just like gets a headache and just does like, and the guy just like explodes, basically something to that effect. Cool. You just like psionic blast him to death.
It's fucking badass.
And then your character's like, what the fuck? Like he's horrified. I think they did a really good job of like the character. I forget his name, but he is horrified. It was an anime style game, and they made an anime for it that was actually kind of cool too.
God damn, dude.
But yeah, interesting game.
I remember one thing that I thought was really cool about Resident Evil 2. I think it was the first game that I ever played that had like multiple end stories. Like you could play the game different ways and it would end differently.
Yeah, you got to play as Claire and Leon.
And don't you meet certain people, like certain characters only appear depending on which character you're playing as? From what I remember.
Yeah, because like there's Sherry is the little girl, and Claire meets her, and Ada Wong is like the red dress lady.
Right.
She's like a sneaky assassin type person. Leon meets her. But like Connor was saying about the endings, I think like particularly what Resident Evil 2 did was that if you play Leon first, when you play Claire, it's the second half of the game. And so if you go back and you play the game with Claire first, then that's different from playing her as Claire B. It's Claire A, and then you would play as Leon B, which that was like nuts, man, because you basically got to play the game 4 times and it was different every time.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts.
Hell yeah.
Definitely a cool idea.
You know, the first game that I ever played that had different outcomes, you know?
Yeah, that's a pretty big thing now. People love that shit, though, usually.
Yeah, I think that's like pretty much like it's almost like a standard anymore with like some of these like bigger like adventure games. Like I remember like Skyrim even Oblivion blowing my mind. Like Oblivion and Skyrim, I'm sure
Oblivion.
Like packs could go on for days.
Dude, the first time I ever saw someone play Oblivion, I was like hungover from a drug that I won't even mention what it was, but like it was a bad idea. Yeah, man, I was smoking cigarettes. But regardless,
hangover, man.
I was having a hard time already, and the face, just as soon as your character, like you start in a jail, I think like a jail cell in that game, don't you? Like the first character you see, when it goes into the conversation, the face is like right there in the screen, and it was so detailed to me, even like on an Xbox at that time, it was so fucking mind-blowing that I was like no, this is too much, I can't handle this right now. I remember just being like overwhelmed.
Dude,
like,
you
there's
must
a real guy in the
like
fucking
10
video
packs
game.
Of smokes, dude,
I was smoking cigarettes all night. God.
Yeah, I'm seeing shit, man.
Yeah,
I'm sure if you smoke enough cigarettes, you'll see shit.
You had to smoke over, man.
Smoke, man. I gotta smoke another cigarette.
I need to calm my nerves.
Jeez. You know how it is.
Well, the first like proper horror game I ever played, I don't even remember what it was called. I know what it was about, and I know the setting. So I don't know if y'all got into creepypastas at all, but when I was a kid, creepypastas were popping off like really hard, like it was the thing on the internet. And there was this one that legitimately gave me nightmares, and like I don't want to give it too much credit and be like, this story changed my life, but it did, because like I changed the way that I lived because I was afraid of this thing. It's called The Rake, and its whole deal is that it's this emaciated, like it looks like a fucking shriveled up naked man with claws, and like he sits at the foot of your bed and watches you sleep. And like if you wake up and see him there, he'll like get up in your face and like he'll either kill you or he'll give you like forbidden information and like ruin your life. And like I got so fucking scared of this thing that I trained myself that when I wake up, I don't immediately open my eyes until I can feel that there's nothing at the foot of the bed. Like that's how scared of this I was. And I saw this game about the Rake where it was you go into an abandoned asylum because someone left you a note and it mentioned the Rake and the asylum. So you were like, oh, well, that's bullshit anyway. They were insane. That's not real. But I do want to know what's going on in the asylum. And you go and the Rake is there, like searching the hallways, looking for you, trying to kill you. I played that, and dude, that was probably the closest I've ever come to pissing myself in fear, because I cut the corner and he was just there, just watching me. And like, I felt my heart drop into my guts. I was like, all right, so this is the part where I die in real life, because that is too fucking much for me.
What is this called again?
I don't remember what it's called. It's a game about the Rake, but there's like a trillion of those. There's like a trillion of them, dude. One came out a few years ago. You know the Bigfoot game where like you're hunting Bigfoot? There was a game that came out that has the exact same mechanics, but instead of Bigfoot, you're hunting the Rake. It doesn't look even half as good as Bigfoot, But I remember, like, I mean, at this point in my life, I can play rake games and like whatever, and it's not going to bother me. But when that game came out, it was still like this subconscious fear of like, no, this thing's like, this is a problem. And I remember seeing it was on a Markiplier video, I think. The thumbnail, I don't even know if he can do this in the game, but the thumbnail was the rake crawling through the camper window. And I remember seeing that and like actually like getting freaked out about it. And I was like, I'm too fucking old to be scared of this thing. I know it's not real, but it bothered me so much to see it. Like, dude, I believed in all of the creepypastas when I was a kid. Like, I thought Slender Man was real. I thought the Rake was real. I thought Smile Dog was real. Smile Dog fucked me up too. Like,
man, I know Slender Man, but that's about it, man. Like,
dude,
all the others.
I was obsessed with all the creepypastas, and I believed in all of them.
Didn't like two girls like kill some girl like in real life because of Slenderman?
They believed in him. They thought it was real, and they killed somebody to like win his favor. Because in some of the stories, he has followers that do shit for him. So like the earlier stories, he would just like hang out and like take kids. And then as the mythos like evolved, he became this like primordial evil that like can possess you and ruin your life. And like, if you look at him even once, it's already too late for you, because if you see him, he'll stalk you for the rest of your life until he kills you. Like, it fucked me up.
Is the game like you're just supposed to not look at him? Is that like the...
Yeah, if you look at him too long, he kills you. That's the thing. So like all of the Slender games, when he's in your vision, you start to see static. And like if you look away, it goes away. But the more pages you get, or depending on the game, because in some of the games, like the Shadow Maps, which is like 8 different Slender games in one, you'll collect like there's one where you're in a school and you're collecting pages, but there's one where you're in a mansion and you're collecting mementos, like little knickknacks and shit. But the more of his shit that you steal, the angrier he gets, so the more he'll try to get in your line of sight to kill you.
Why is this reminding me of, like, isn't there a character on like Minecraft, like Elderman or something like that? And he's like Enderman, yeah. And if you look at him, he'll kill you too, right? Like
it was based off of that. That's why it's called Enderman instead of Slenderman. Okay. Yep. That's why, like, because Slenderman is tall, skinny. Enderman, tall, skinny. They both teleport. They both kill you if you look at them.
Way too familiar. Like,
it's the exact same thing. Just like one of them's got a coat of paint on it.
Man, as you were talking about that rake game, I couldn't help but think you're like talking about like a rake for like leaves. Like a rake
you just cut the corner. There's a rake from fucking
dude. You're like walking through the woods, and like if you step on a rake and it hits you in the head, you die. Like a cartoon.
Like you come around a tree and there's just a rake from like Harbor Freight just there, and you're like, that's the scariest brand of all, and it just pops up and kills you.
It's called Harbor Rake, dude.
Dude, creepypastas fucked me up when I was a kid, because I was like 11 and 12, like reading and hearing these stories, and at that point my internet access was like extremely limited. Like, I was 11 the first time I ever, like, even touched a computer. Like, I just was not given internet access. My parents were very against that.
They didn't have internet yet in that part of North Carolina or South Carolina.
South Carolina. I mean, they had internet. We just my parents didn't want me on the computer.
So backwoods.
Because they hadn't taught me anything about the internet, I was, like, 10, 11, 12, not knowing that like people on the internet can just make shit up. So like I just had no concept of like people can lie. Like it's easy.
Dude, so, Facebook is like basically like
people lying.
The epitome of like people making shit up.
Yeah, but like I remembered it was what the fuck was it? I had a friend at school who found like the Slender game. And I watched someone play it, and I was like, oh, that's scary. Good thing it's not real. And then the top recommended was like Slender, the True Story or some shit. And I was all like, So I clicked on it, and it was fucked. And then the next recommended like actually gave me nightmares. It was the Smile Dog story, which is like it's this cursed JPEG of a Siberian Husky that's got like a big old grin on him. And then there's an alternate version where he's bright red and has human teeth, and it looks fucked.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, the story of it is that if you see the original real image, it basically it's like a mind virus. Like, it infects your mind, and it will never leave you alone unless you show the original image to someone else to spread it around. That's the only way it'll leave you alone. And if you don't want to put someone else through that, then you just got to suffer until you die, because he never leaves you alone. And I was like, yeah,
well, he's leaving you alone now because you showed him to me.
Well, I remember being like, because the one of the main things of the story is like, oh, no one knows what the original image is. The original image is called smile.jpg and blah, blah, blah. And I remember like thinking, well, what if this one's the original one? Well, what if this one's the original one? Like, seeing all these like recommended images and like thumbnails on YouTube, I'm like, what if one of these is the original and now I'm dead? And I got so worked up over it that I gave myself nightmares about it. Because again, I was a kid, so I was like,
so crazy. A lot of these games, like even like looks like Slenderman and stuff. Like, you can do like all kinds of shit on Roblox now. Like, people are making games on Roblox.
Roblox.
Oh yeah,
Roblox is insane right now. Like, there are games on Roblox that look like they were made by a fucking AAA studio, because they've made it now where you can just import shit, do whatever you want, like make your own games using their engine or whatever.
So is it like kind of like Blender sort of, or not Blender, but like
the whole, like, have you ever played Roblox?
I've seen like kids play it, but like,
it's like it's a platform basically. So it's like, here's an engine. If you want to make games in it, cool. If you want to play games in it, cool. But it's all like centralized on one big website. And in the last few years, people have gotten to a point where they make like
world games.
Yeah. Whatever. So it's gotten to a point now where people are making like their own assets and their own like game mechanics and everything else to put into the game. And there was this one game, I need to look up the name of it, but Markiplier played it recently. And the whole point of the game is that you're this little girl whose dad like keeps her in a basement because the world ended. And like, he's trying to keep her safe or some shit. It's an allegory for some fucked up stuff, but the original game didn't get that much popularity. And then there was a remake of it that was put up on Roblox and overnight went viral. So Roblox, compared when I was a kid, like, it was janky as shit, lagged constantly, it sucked. And now
that's
it's like
the only image I have of it in my head is like,
yeah, it's just falling apart. But like, now it's like, I don't know, like, you can make anything you want to in it as long as you have the time and the ability. Like, there are no limitations. Like, there are cutscenes in these fan-made games on Roblox now. Like, fully animated, voiced cutscenes. It's fucking insane.
I assume you have to be playing like on PC to like access games at that level.
Yeah, I don't think you can do like no, I don't think you can do like the big on like a Xbox or something, but like,
or a tablet even. I'm sure.
Like, I feel like such a boomer right now, but do you download the platform and then you like, or is it all in browser?
So you go, like, I'm sure you can install it. I never did growing up, but like, you can either go to Roblox, like the site, or you can just download it, I'm assuming. And you can download it, I know you can, but you make your account and you can play anything. And if you have your parents' credit card, you can buy in-game shit to make your little character look really cool.
Yeah, it's all the money. The only money you spend on it is for cosmetics.
Right.
I feel like I've seen a bunch of articles where kids like spend like $1,000 of their parents' money on fucking
Dude,
Roblox.
I remember my brother. He never spent a fuck ton of my parents' money, to my knowledge. But I remember like my brother having a laptop before I did, and he was playing this game, and he was like, Passion, come here. This is a Dragon Ball game. And I'm like, and at the time, I had only seen Dragon Ball Z Kai. I had never watched GT. So he was like, this is Super Saiyan 4. Because, like, he had watched GT. He knew what all of it was. Like, this is Super Saiyan 4. And I was like, he's red and a monkey? Wow. Like, I was so amazed by this shit. And then I watched GT, and I was like, this fucking sucks. I hate this. And I went back to watching Z Kai. So that was my experience. That was my first experience with Roblox. And then I played... It was there's like a million Tycoon games on there where the whole point of it is that you make money to make money. And there's like Pizza Tycoon, Roller Coaster Tycoon, but one of them was like War Tycoon or some shit where like you go over, build a base, have a money printer, you can upgrade your money printer, and then you can use the money to get weapons or to like extend your base. And I remember building this tower and like just standing in the top of it, just like shooting down at all these other people, just like, yeah, I never have to leave, bitch. And then this one fucking dude, he kept sniping me over and over and over again. Sure. Like, I think he just started focusing on my tower exclusively, because if I peeked my head out of the top, I would get killed. If I took a step out of the front door, I would get killed. So I just had to sit there, and I was like, fuck this, and I just quit. So fucking Fortnite, Roblox is a good game.
Dude, fucking Roller Coaster Tycoon, that game is fucking amazing, man.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you.
I love that shit, man.
I could not tell you the amount of thousands and thousands of hours I put into that game. Like, just even as a kid and even as an adult, like it's like one of my favorite games of all time, I think.
I liked making roller coasters that just killed everybody.
Yeah,
everyone dies. That's basically all I did, was just like torture the people in the park.
Guest number 135 is just drowned. you just pick them up and put them in the water.
There was an old Jurassic Park game like that where like you could make like, because the whole lore of Jurassic Park is that they make the dinosaurs, obviously. So you could make dinosaurs and like make enclosures, but you could intentionally set it up to where like even the smallest gust of wind would take out one of the walls. So you could have like a fucking T-Rex, and like a gust of wind would just blow open the gate, and the T-Rex is like, all right, I'm about to fuck shit up. And they could just run out and eat all of your customers. It's so fucking sick.
Dude, I need to play that. That sounds fucking awesome.
It's awesome, dude. If you've seen like Jurassic World Evolution, that game that came out, it's like that, but like significantly older. I think it came out after Jurassic Park 3. I know that there was a pretty strong modding community for it. So like when new dinosaur lore would drop, they would like mod the game to where there were new dinosaurs that you could have.
See, I think the only Jurassic Park game I ever played was for SNES.
I got you.
Oh yeah, like the old side scroller stuff where
it was like kind of like a top down almost. But I remember that there were like certain areas in the game that were like 3D though, like Doom style. Like you show your gun, your character like
you had to like run around the map, kind of like Zelda, and then when you get in a building, then there's like a mission or something.
Right. I remember I sucked at it so bad though.
Like it was really hard.
Yeah, dude.
StarCraft, or not StarCraft, Star Fox. Dude, on Star Fox 2, which we never got in the US until recently, because they put it on the Switch, on the like virtual console on there. But that game kind of has something like that, because you fly around like Star Fox style, but then you go inside of these like mothership things, and it's like a whole different perspective. It's or I don't know why that made me think of it, but
dude, StarCraft or Star Fox 64. I remember that game blew my fucking mind, dude. It's the first time they had a rumble pack, like your controller would shake. That was like revolutionary, dude. That was the first game to introduce like rumbling.
I forgot about that.
Just like being in space and like flying around and stuff. Like, I don't know that there was other games that really did that.
No, try a somersault.
Maybe on like PC back when nobody had PCs that could play those games, except like,
I'm trying to remember the name of this space game my dad played.
Do a barrel roll.
Do a barrel roll. Try a somersault.
Try a somersault.
On that,
use the boost to get through
the train level, you got to be a tank.
Oh, dude, you could roll it?
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah. When you went on the desert level, Oh, the train level too. Yeah.
Yeah.
You had to fight the train, and then the guy would come out, and he's attached to it, and he's like flying.
Now that I
hanging
think
onto the
about
train.
it, dude, your choices in that game affected the outcome also. There was different paths you could go down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you knew like secret areas and shit, you could change your course.
Yeah, there was basically like a easy, medium, and hard difficulty paths you could take, but you had to finish on the hard side to get the true Andros fight,
And
where
you had
you
to
would
do
actually
it from
fight
the
him
first
twice.
level too.
Yeah.
You have to go through that waterfall, dude. I remember that
Oh,
shit.
you have to do the whole red. Yeah, you have to go. Well, to get through the waterfall, you had to go under those like archways
The
on
rings,
the water.
dude.
Yeah,
And you
had to go
also have
through
to
all
save.
of them.
Is it Pippi? Who was it that you have to save? He's like Falco. So you have to Pappy. You know, you save him, the frog or whatever. You have to save his.
Peppy.
Yeah, you have
Peppy's
to save
the rabbit. Slippy's the frog.
So
Slippy.
Slippy.
Falco's the one they have to save in the first level.
Oh, is it okay?
Yeah, because he's like, look over here. He shows you where
when
to
you
go.
save him after doing the 3 rings, that's whenever you can go through the.
No, not the 3 rings. You have to go in under those arches.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, there's like 5
Right.
arches on the water, and you have to fly low to the ground, like up right above the water, and go through all the little arches.
God, dude.
There's a ring there you're thinking of because it appears after you go out through the last arch. But if you do a somersault, then you can grab the ring by going through that arch twice.
Can you imagine?
And then Falco's all over here, yo, and you guys go over there.
Dude, I would fucking lose my shit if they were to remake that game, like in like Nintendo standards now. Like,
I wouldn't be surprised if it happens.
I would shit my pants, dude. Like Breath of
That'd
the
be cool,
Wild
man.
style graphics, dude. That'd be fucking amazing, dude. Star Fox doesn't get enough love. I don't think they
never. Yeah, I don't think they ever really succeeded all the way in making a Star Fox game that hit like Star Fox 64 did.
No,
They
dude.
made plenty of games, but
Dude, Nintendo 64 had some fucking amazing games though, dude. Like,
Dude, I just downloaded GoldenEye on the Xbox. Dude,
nice.
it's
Yeah,
still
I was
hard
playing that
for
the
me.
other day.
Yeah, because the controls are so fucking bad. We hadn't figured out how to make first person shooter controls
Is
yet.
it on
and GoldenEye
Xbox
was
now?
not the way to
Yeah,
do
It's
it.
on Game Pass. You can download it.
what?
Yeah, dude.
Did they
Get it.
change at least to where the controllers, like, you can use both thumbsticks, or is it like the original?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I'm just really
It's
bad
just
at it.
jank, dude. It's fucked. It's really fucked.
God, dude.
Like, okay, you want to know what it's like to control it? You know those racing games where like you in an arcade where like you're using a steering wheel and like driving? Okay, drink an entire fifth of vodka and try to play one of those backwards, and that's what it's like to try to play this game. Try to play one of those sitting backwards. That's what it's like trying to control this fucking thing. It's rough. But-
Pax, you're talking about on the Xbox version?
Yeah, it's rough.
And
Still.
is this the first time you've ever played GoldenEye?
Yeah. So I already have no frame of reference, and it's jank.
I think the thing is too is like when you're playing on N64, I don't think you have the secondary stick to like look around. It's just like fixed all the time. And then when you hold the aim button, then you can look around or something.
Yeah.
I don't really remember.
It is like something like that. And you had to like use the C buttons for stuff. It was weird. It was just weird. They didn't have it figured out. But it was still such a fun fucking game because like the level design was fun and the power ups and
multiplayer,
stuff
man.
and the multiplayer. Yeah.
I wish that like, and I know that it's hard to add like online multiplayer to a remastered thing, but I wish that like if they were going to port it to the Xbox One, that they could have figured out some kind of thing for online multiplayer, because that would be sick. But
Yeah.
I know I'm asking a lot for that, but like it would be sick
I
as
think
fuck
on
if that could
Switch.
happen.
On Switch, if you can do it, you can play online with each other, but not like in lobbies, but you can play with your friends.
Yeah, I didn't mean like lobbies. I wanted to get my friend to download it and play it with me so that we could scream. Yeah. So we tried it for everyone at home. We try to keep this to like roughly 30 minutes. As you can tell, this time we kind of went over. So I'm going to send it home. But for those of you who are subscribed to our Patreon, you will get to watch the after party and where we're just hanging out, talking shit, even more shit than what we normally talk. And there might be titties, there might be feet. We don't know. You'll have to skip out on the KY this month to find out. We love you. Stay safe. Don't do drugs. I guess don't do some drugs. Certain drugs don't do. Other drugs, cool. Do all you want. Don't do Benadryl. Benadryl's bad.
Correct.
And have a weekend.
Yeah. Love you guys.
Bye.